Match number 1. We're just about ready here, and in game, there it is. Squizen. We're here in the top left-hand corner. The blue Protoss player and his opponent in the bottom right.
In the red, playing Terran from America, it is Artosis.
Sorry, I kind of threw that on you there. Rapid was having a drink.
Same. I thought you had my back. It's all alive.
All right, we're on this map. One of the longest maps I think I've ever seen. It's built off of, I think it's called Challenger, which was an original Blizzard map. But if you play that Blizzard map today, it is god-awful. This is a updated version with proper mineral patches, a proper natural and all that, but still a very long map with lots of doodads in the middle and plenty of bases around the perimeter for the players to take here. Artosis, he may struggle to grab that third base on this map. There's quite a bit of space between the natural and the third.
Yeah, and just to be clear about what this match means, I believe, if I'm correct, we added another person into the group, and that means that it becomes a round robin, and so everybody plays everybody. But if everybody beats one player, so depending on who beats who, then it'll go to the record. So the players with the best win record out of the group of 5 will advance. I think. Best two. I believe 2 players advance, and there's a total of 5 in the group. But we'll double, triple check this because I know that obviously our first group, Group A, only had 4 players in it. So eventually we'll wind up with an appropriate number of players and then make them play against each other for our amusement a little bit later on. But first we have to get rid of this, and obviously Squizen is a little bit mysterious to us, but we did get to learn a little bit about him earlier on. So Protoss player, and coming in here with the Dastardly Probe, getting about half health on 1 SCV and continuing to do its evil work. It's gonna... I was like, is it gonna steal minerals or just harass more? And yeah, it's just gonna keep... Oh my god, that SCV is a... I always get scared, but eventually the barracks will complete and the probe will have to run away. Oh my god. Wait a second. Oh, I thought... I knew better than to expect the probe to actually be trapped. You can never grab those things. And now, the battle. It's the most exciting thing to talk about today.
Yeah, he's going to be chasing around this probe in the main base, but this is not something that Artosis hasn't dealt with a million times before. Just another probe in the base, and it's not going to be a probe that's controlled nearly as well as I'm sure he's used to with some of these stronger Protoss players like Boneth or DeWalt. They can get some real damage in your main base early on with that probe, and just frustrate the hell out of you before the game really even gets started.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, that's what awaits us tomorrow when we get to watch both of those guys, Boneth and DeWalt, do what they do best, and that is murder people for our entertainment. The probes making it back to mine another day, and honestly, what are we seeing here? Oh, it's the pylon build. No, I'm just kidding. No, so Artosis is gonna get that natural expansion up and running. We'll see what he has to do there. Pushing the SCV out, and boom goes the dynamite. So there it is, bunker up, and all is right with the world. Obviously, we're gonna send the Dragoons across the map. They're gonna hit the bunker. They're gonna run away when the siege mode comes out. Blah blah blah. But in between, then, something exciting might happen. That's what I'm here for.
All right, well, a Nexus is going to be dropped here. Just single gateway expansion on the side of Squizen, and a single factory coming up here after the command center was dropped. So a little bit of an interesting variation on the gas expansion here for Artosis. It's kind of the middle of the road. Instead of going, for the CC right off the bat with the bunker and then getting the gas, he got the gas a little bit faster, and his factory's going to finish up just a little bit quicker here, although his CC's been delayed slightly. I don't know what this exactly is meant to do, but it's an interesting build here, an interesting decision out of Artosis. On the other side of the map, Squizen, he's gone for, of course, the single gateway expansion. He's popped out a few Dragoons, keeping them all back at home right now. He's a little bit afraid that there might be a vulture on the map, but he doesn't have to worry about that for now. The factory here has just finished up. It's going to start a machine shop. There's still a long time before any pressure can come out. And Squizen missing a bit of an opportunity right now to punish Artosis for not having a tank out yet. He could have been dealing a lot of damage to this bunker and forcing a repair, but just hasn't been able to do so. Oh, Artosis putting down a turret here. Is being very careful.
Oh, he's so worried right now. What does he think is coming? I mean, obviously, when you can't get out of your base to go scout, it could be anything. So you gotta have to start crossing things off. So that's what he's doing right now. You have the SCVs at the front, bunker at the front, turret there, and he's like, okay, hold on. But actually, it's just a nexus behind it.
Yeah, this is one of those things that Artosis would say just doesn't make sense. Why is he sitting back at home with his Dragoons and not putting pressure on the bunker when this is kind of what the build is meant to do? He's thinking like, what is coming here? There must be something else going on. Why are your Dragoons sitting back? Did you not get range? Did you get like a super quick robo or something like that? Yeah. But none of that happened. It was just Squizen being very, very passive and defensive and going for this Nexus with just 2 gate now into Observer. So as stock standard can be. He just didn't put any pressure on this bunker, and that seems to have thrown Artosis off a little bit, although it hasn't, done any serious damage to him at all.
-1 Zerg egg. So somehow in a TVP, the Zerg player is still losing. Classic. No, either way, just trying to free up some space here. 66 supply from Squizen, who is absolutely powering on his side of the map. I don't think we're going to see an expansion anytime soon. Both players just doing what they do best in their profiles. They both said they liked macro games, so I don't think it's a huge surprise, but my god, that is just several probes. Holy. How many? Oh my god. Okay, I was like, wow, that's a huge supply advantage, but like, it's all probes. So eventually there's going to need to be more Nexi coming down, but you absolutely cannot overextend yourself, because eventually Artosis is going to have some super scary units out there. Double machine shop, tanks coming out, so we are just macroing.
Now we can see here Lip APM on Artosis getting a little higher. He saw the Dragoons moving out. He gets the scan off. He sees what's here, and just stock standard, absolutely, like two gate, and now gonna go into a third base here with a Reaver to slow down any push that might be coming.
Oh, that's not good.
Losing the Observer there is pretty painful. You want to have that Observer alive to help you clear mines, but there's no mines on the map right now. He would have loved to get in there and see how many factories were actually up, but it's not a crazy number of factories here either. Squizen just wait for the next Observer to come out. He's gonna go all the way back home here and sit. And I don't think this is the right way to play. I think you need to be out in front of the Terran main so that you can slow things down as they're coming across the map, but Squizen's not gonna get punished for it here, luckily.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no punishment on either side. Honestly, the self-flagellation is just Artosis preparing so much for everything, and then nothing comes. And honestly, I guess that may be what you want, but you wish that you could not have to worry about it, and it also still wouldn't happen. But I mean, either way, it does look like, as far as the game goes, neither player really too much to talk about. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of interesting, because a lot of times when you go for these super macro builds, you do cut a lot of corners. But this is what that looks like without any of those corners being cut. And honestly, a lot of that precaution might come back and help Artosis, because there are eventually going to be what looks like potentially Reavers coming through. So a couple of turrets spread out there, but honestly, there's like zero vision for Artosis out on the map at all.
Without any vision, he's going to have a hard time moving forward. But I think the plan here for Artosis is just 4 factory into an expansion here. He's going to float the completed CC out forward. He's going to get into massive amounts of upgrades here and just try to play this out in an extremely long game. This is a very long map to push across, so I think I understand his mentality here. He needs to get to a third base, possibly even to a fourth, before he even thinks about trying to end this game. And Squizen's coming in now with the dropship. Can he get some serious damage here? There's a lot of defense and 2 Goliaths here, plus the turret. You're never going to be able to get in there with this Reaver and do anything.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so Poke's in there and sees what he has to see. Honestly, the only reason he had to do that is because he lost that observer earlier. It's rough when you're trying to plan a drop and you don't know the angle. Because obviously he could have come around from the other side, and I mean, there's still a turret there. So really, Artosis is super airtight right now. And so for the time being, he knows what's coming, and this is the most information Artosis has had all game long, including with the scans coming through, seeing the third base coming up, and he can probably forecast a fourth wherever it might be, whether it's north, south, east, or well, anyway, one of those places. So now it's time. He realizes that there has been a lot of macro on the other end, and so now it's time to put this big metal mech ball to use.
And he's going to start to push out here. We're coming up on 11 minutes is when oh god, 2 Reaver shots hit there. I wasn't expecting those both to connect, and he ends up hitting one of those tanks. He might even get the second tank here. Another big kill. And Artosis is being a little bit impatient as he moves forward here. Kind of uncharacteristic. He's usually Mr. Patient, and he's been Mr. Patient this entire game up until this point, but he tried to push forward a little bit too aggressively there. Loses 2 tanks to just these Reaver shots, and the Reavers are still alive. Still going to be useful here in slowing down this third base. He cannot fly this CC out. If he loses a CC, the game is almost over at that point. Reavers coming forward here. The SCV train is going to get nuked, but oh, the shuttle goes down.
That's not good.
The shuttle goes down with both Reavers inside. That's a huge kill. CC is about to fall, though. He needs a massive repair.
Not enough.
Not enough. It goes down. A big loss there for Artosis. His third base is now going to be so late.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously I'm not in this position, but seeing that go down, losses on both sides, obviously, with a very expensive shuttle getting taken out. But I think you'd trade a shuttle and 2 Reavers for a third base any day of the week. So really good move there by Squizen, who is expanding to that 9 o'clock location too. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4 bases up and running, and at this point he can just keep adding on gateways, get his macro going, and you're about to see a lot of Protoss units out on the map.
Carrier transition coming for Squizen. He's going to be switching into carrier here. Oh god, the tanks are all stacked up. They're not in siege mode, and Squizen's here with a bunch of ground units ready to take this fight. There's not a lot of vultures to support this. No mines in front of this army, but luckily Squizen going to turn around rather than take this engagement. He doesn't have enough zealots to actually fight this. He actually doesn't have any zealots with this army, but he's got 2 full groups of dragoons, and he's macroing behind this. Gonna get out a ton more units, and Artosis really needs to go for this attack. He just dropped a scan. It's over there at the center left. He does not know, I think, about these carriers that are coming in right now, but this is his window. This is his timing to attack in and end this game before carriers get fully online and start to really ravage him here on this game.
Yeah, no, now is the time. I think Artosis is as strong as he's going to be before it gets any worse. And honestly, Siege Tank's obviously very good. There's no Arbiter tech. There's nothing that's going to mess with this. He just has a lot of Dragoons. And after taking down that shuttle, it's been rebuilt, and so there is more out there. But, keep in mind that carrier tech is on the way. So at some point, that is really going to make this a whole lot less effective. So maybe trading out a little bit of supply here is not bad for either side. So really just posturing and kind of forcing Artosis to siege up.
Stopping here in the center just tells you straight away that Artosis does not know about these carriers right now. He has no idea. If he knew that carriers were on the way, he would be pushing here much harder. Okay, he does make some Goliaths. Maybe he's just waiting for those Goliath rallies to come through. Maybe he does know about those carriers. Oh god, he really needs to siege up here. Unsieged in the middle of the map, and the Zealots are actually behind this army, and they don't have speed, so maybe he can take a good fight here. The Reaver just explodes right in the middle of all of this, and a lot of the Zealots actually on top of the tanks drawing that fire, but we still have a pretty decent tank count here. Maybe we can push forward with the Goliath rallies. There's nothing to stop our Goliath rallies from reinforcing this position, and there's enough tanks to slowly push forward. Can he do it? Can he get on top of a base here and shut one of them down?
That was a really good trade, and especially with this army composition, tanks are just not bad. He's trading out some mines and vultures just to be able to repair a little bit behind this and move forward, get the next siege, but he wants to keep going. He doesn't want to keep sieging up there because that gives more and more. Oh, here comes the shuttle. Oh, it gets picked off almost immediately. Was that previously damaged?
Yeah, they must have taken some damage earlier. There's another damage shuttle here just over this area. This base is under threat. We've got carriers, 4 carriers out right now. They're going to come forward to bear, but do we have enough interceptors to actually fight this? Goliaths need to come over and actually keep these tanks alive because we need to kill a base right now. We have to kill one of these bases at least. Artosis is taking another base on his side of the map. If he kills some bases... Oh, he's targeting a carrier down, and it's going to go down. One carrier falls. Big mistake here by Squizen, and he loses one carrier. He's going to start to lose a ton of probes here over at the 4th base as well, but his army is going to be able to clear out these Goliaths and tanks. I think this is still a reasonable position for Artosis. He killed tons of probes. He didn't kill a base, though, and that's actually what's worrying me.
Yeah, that is worrying, but honestly, trading off even just a few Goliaths against those carriers is not totally bad. And keep in mind, behind this, Artosis has double expanded. So he's getting his bases up when he needs them the most. Well, he needed them the most a few minutes ago, but now they are up and ready to go. He did trade off quite a bit of his army, and so this counter push is going to be coming out of a ton more gateways, a lot of carriers now, and he does need to remake those Goliaths, and this econ from his new bases isn't going to have kicked in yet, so he really needs to get out there. He's spent a lot of his money, whereas Squizen, he's on 180 supply with 2K50 in the bank.
All that money in the bank is going to be going into probably a massive round of zealots here that can probably break any location that Squizen decides to attack into. He's clearing out the middle of the map right now, getting rid of these vultures and tanks. Some Goliaths are coming out, though, and the surprise here, Goliaths, you cannot be in the middle of the map with nowhere to retreat to with these carriers and expect not to lose them to some Goliaths just running out, gunning one of those down, almost gets a second one as well. That was a great trade for Artosis, but I don't think he's going to get another one like that unless Squizen makes another huge blunder. That was a mistake that probably won't be happening twice. Now coming around this side, there's not a huge amount of defenses over here on the center right, so Artosis needs to move his army quickly to cut off this force here.
Yeah, and there it is. There's the move you were just talking about, saying for this position, you need to do a whole lot of things correctly. You got to get your Goliaths up here underneath the carriers. He does pick off a carrier at the very beginning. A lot of interceptors disappearing there, but there's so many Dragoons, and with the tank count dwindling behind us, it's just all Dragoons all the time. Doesn't matter about the carriers if you just have the massive gateway advantage, and with more Dragoons than he knows what to do with, the rally of Goliaths is not going to help. He has 2 tanks and a Dream behind this, and I think this is where the overwhelming advantage starts to come into play for Squizen.
Yeah, Squizen, the kill on that 3rd base, just so brutal for Artosis. He would have had a much better position had he not lost that base, but he's going to try and play a bit of, refugee style here, see if he can maybe put something together. The supply disadvantage, though, is absolutely insane. We're at 177 to on just 94, dropping below 100 as Terran is usually when the GG comes out. And Artosis here, he's gonna try one final defense, try to keep himself alive. He has another base going up in the bottom left. The center right is still mining right now, but there's just almost no way to bring this one back. The carriers are gonna head down to that bottom left and cut down the hidden base here. He's gonna prevent that from mining, and tanks are popping out, but Artosis is just about dead here. He's going to pull out these tanks one more time, start to push everything back, and Squizen takes out that command center. He's going to trade that out and just start to fall back with these goons until the carriers can come to assist once again.
Yeah, so Artosis hangs on for now, and honestly, at this point, that 4th base is really kicking in, so that's not bad. It's completely unharassed. I don't know if Squizen just doesn't know about it. He's got to imagine that it's up there, but it's running quite well for Artosis. So even though he did lose that, if he can hold on for like seconds more, and Squizen doesn't push the issue, then he might be able to get at least a small foothold back there at that outer expansion. The real problem is that production-wise, I mean, this is a Protoss with infinite gateways, insane economy, and so even if you win one fight, you've got to win the next one, and so on and so forth. I mean, if he catches more carriers out in the middle of nowhere, that's not bad, but they do retreat in time, and so no more. Oh my God, he's gonna pick another one off. Some sweet moves here in the center of the map by Artosis.
Artosis getting another carrier here, but there's just not enough tanks to deal with these Zealot numbers and Dragoon numbers just bearing down on his army, and he's going to do a little bit of hold position micro here to try and pick off what he can, but back at home, I mean, 2 tanks just not going to be enough. GG is called, and Squizen wins game number 1.
Well, there it is. Game number 1 going to Squizen. And honestly, I thought at the beginning of the game, with how passively we started out, I actually thought Artosis was in a pretty good spot. What do you think was the big turning point there? Or am I just not remembering it?
I guess the turning point was when Artosis was doing that first push forward. He lost a bunch of a couple of tanks there just to some Reaver shots, and then lost his CC at the 3rd base. That's probably the real beginning of the end there, but he had a decent push going through the middle. He was just a little bit slow pushing forward. He wanted to set up a real outpost in the middle of the map when he needed to be actually putting on, kill pressure to Squizen there while he was building carriers, and those carriers were building interceptors. He had a moment, but right as he was attacking into the bases, the carriers were there picking off tanks and stopping those bases from going down. I'm telling you, if he had pushed in there like maybe 20 seconds faster, he could have killed 1, maybe 2 Nexus, and that would have changed the entire game. It would have been Squizen on the back foot trying to retake Nexuses while Artosis was sitting on 4 bases and powering up once again, but that's not the way that it went, and maybe we'll get a longer game here on Paradiso, and I think that Artosis is going to be very careful about scanning and finding out if there is a carrier switch coming here, now that he knows that that's in the MO here for Squizen.
Yeah. Squizen seemed pretty comfortable with carriers there, so you might imagine that's the direction we might go in the future. We haven't seen an Arbiter built today, so maybe no love for those guys. TVP stats for this map, pretty even, at least over the course of these qualifiers. And there have been quite a few games. What was it, like 25 to get here? And so, you might imagine Squizen has deserved his place, and Artosis also coming out here to play. See if we get our players ready to go, because we have, potentially 2 more games coming through. Okay, so I guess Squizen's taking a break for a second. No, it's fine. I came here to talk, Zero. I was told I would be... No. This is a little bit of break. All right, so I believe we were doing our little chakisoge, or self-introduction a little bit earlier. So you came over here from Japan. How long a flight?
I ended up taking a longer flight because I did not want to transfer in China.
I did transfer in China.
You did transfer in China.
I do not blame you.
Yeah, I didn't want to transfer in China. I ended up going through Vietnam, so I had to take a longer flight, more expensive flight. But for me, it's worth it. I don't want to go to Shanghai or anything like that. But that's where all the planes go.
Yeah.
All the planes go there, and I think the reason is because they actually subsidize a lot of the airports. But that's just my opinion.
No, yeah, so I did go through China. It's exciting, never a dull moment, but I did make it here safe and sound, and it was not actually that long a flight. I think it's maybe 5 hours total flight time, maybe 6, probably about 6 hours, but it's only a 2-hour time difference, so I don't really have that much jet lag or anything. But I was talking to Ultra. I think Ultra had the longest flight because depending on where you're flying from, whether it's like Chile or Peru, apparently it's like quite a big flight difference, because not all of these guys live right next to the airport, and sometimes it can be hard to kind of navigate the terrain. So I think for Ultra, he had a 40-hour flight, and then Terror had like 30 something. I don't know. Either way, it's like actually the longest possible route around the world. Yeah, I think Terror came down here to play, obviously, but he's not playing tomorrow. So he was telling me, he's like, okay, if I can just make it through today, I want to play all my games and get out of here, because he's kind of feeling it. So he said, tomorrow he's happy with his games today. If he can just survive until tomorrow, then he can have a day to relax and then come check out everybody's games, and he'll be feeling good. But I mean, maybe I guess casting on jet lag sucks, but
I'm
it's
not jet lagged.
yeah, but thankfully we were both like relatively in the area,
Yeah.
so not that bad. Can't complain.
Yeah. Can't complain. Can't complain. I've been here for a couple weeks, so I'm like
Okay.
I'm like
so
really
you're-
in
you're
it.
acclimated. Okay.
I'm
That's
acclimated. Oh yeah. No, I took a couple weeks to go and check out some islands. I love Thailand. Thailand's amazing. They just legalized weed here.
good. Okay.
Life is good.
Yeah, it's completely unrelated to today's broadcast, by the way. Okay, here it is. It's time. We got the players in the lobby, and we're ready to go for game number 2. All right, in the upper right-hand corner. Sorry, I gotta start whispering again so that the players don't hear me. In the red, playing Terran from America, it is Artosis.
And down here, in the bottom left, the blue Protoss player, it's Squizen. All right, cross, spawn. Will we see a Nexus first? He didn't do it last time, but 4-player map, it's tempting. You might get cross spawn, and I mean, you get an immediate advantage. It's pretty OP.
I'm just disappointed that there's nothing being built in the middle of the map now. Come on. One of these games, I mean, we flew. I mean, how many people flew here to compete, okay? Or took a train in some of their cases. One of these guys has...
Come all this way to see people not...
Exactly. When is it happening? I don't know, but it's not going to be these guys. And honestly, I think for Squizen, he seemed most comfortable playing that super passive style. When he was getting his Nexus up early, you could see how maybe confused Artosis was. I mean, he had the Dragoons. They just weren't hitting the bunker.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is this, like, you know... Super nice guys craft? Like, no, it's StarCraft. We're crafting stars, not pacifism. So, you know, that might give a little bit of a tip off to Artosis to say, hey, this guy really loves playing that passive macro opener. What if you change it up a little bit, put that pressure on? And obviously, that's not exactly Artosis' playstyle, but if you throw a wrench in here or there, that can definitely make it look a little bit different. Might put some extra pressure on Squizen, who has built a Nexus before he is, I don't know, eaten breakfast that day. He is absolutely ahead of schedule, so very, very confident in this passive opener.
This is gonna piss Artosis off later. Squizen goes Nexus first. He doesn't even know where the natural is. Typical Protoss player. He hasn't even looked at the map before we played the game. I doubt he's even practiced on the BSL maps, or probably he has, but it's just a little joke here. Sending the probe to the north, and it's actually Nexus down to the right. He gets it on time, just barely, but that is pretty hilarious. And it is Nexus first cross spawn. He scouts cross. And he's going to be happy to see that Artosis is up here and he's playing like a normal macro game. He's not going to be able to punish this Nexus first probably at all here. This is not good.
You know, here's what they say about these passive macro openers is that if everybody knows that you are a 12 Nexus opener, if everybody knows that you're going to build 15 hatcheries before you build a Zergling, like in theory, you would gain a reputation that would then cause you to lose games because people would punish you. If you tell your opponent with no mind games, hey, I'm going to go macro, then you should expect to be punished for that. And I know a lot of people have their own issues with the macro openers, but for the most part, you should know about it and be able to punish that. We saw, what was it, Ultra? Or no, was it Ultra? Or was it Terror earlier? Do exactly that when he scouted the 12 Nexus. He's like, okay, actually, it's just time to go kill this guy. Oh yeah, it was Ultra. And that's absolutely what you have to do. And I think it might be what Artosis is maybe thinking about now, because this is not safe. You are in terrible, terrible danger. And now for Squizen, he's got to kind of roll things back up and say, uh-oh, this might be a lot to deal with.
Yeah, here comes the SCV train. It is so hard to make this work, guys. So hard. But Artosis, I don't feel like he feels that he has a choice at this point. He's left a Marine at his natural, which is really going to hurt him here. He's rallied everything else forward, but -1 Marine here as he's going for this attack, and that's really going to hurt him here. He's blocking The ramp right now with the SCV, it did slow that Dragoon down a little bit, but you can just see with the other matches we saw where the Nexus first got broken, you had the Marines and SCVs arrive before the Dragoons are out. Here, the Dragoons are already out and dealing damage, killing off the SCVs. He's just going to have to mass try to build this bunker here. He's doing a great job of keeping the SCVs in front of these workers. Oh, great block there. Going to keep that Dragoon on the low ground and kill it off almost for free. Oh, God, he's got to get these Marines out of here, though. He needs something for that bunker. 2 of the Marines do go down, but the 3 will jump in, and the rest of the probes are going to be pulled. But if you did go down, but this is a good amount of probes to save right now for Squizen. He can just let this Nexus fall now. He killed enough SCVs. I think he's going to be fine here, just letting this go down and then, you know, double expanding afterwards.
And that's really the big thing here, is it costs a lot of mining time to lose that. Oh, almost lost a vulture there, but it costs a lot of mining time to pull all of your SCVs and run across the map. Like, yeah, sure, you tried to build a Nexus and it didn't work out, but this is time consuming for Artosis, right? I mean, if you look at the supplies, right, we're 31, 33, so it is just low econ for really everyone. Nexus getting a little bit lower here, it's going to eventually fall, and also this costs resources to repair the bunker a little bit. Cheeky dropping out the Marine there to maybe take some extra shots there, but not enough SCVs to keep the bunker repair alive, so wisely running through, taking out these vultures, and even as more reinforcements come through, I think Squizen might actually hold this, question mark? Wow, he is really getting his money's worth here.
Well, that was going pretty well. That was going pretty well for Squizen, but then he lost a bunch of Dragoons there. The plan was to actually come forward, kill the SCVs, and then kill the bunker before the Nexus went down, but he ended up going after some of the... Oh, running out here trying to get this kill there. Oh, man, the Marines just kind of getting stuck. Sometimes that does happen when you A-click on something, on a unit. Sometimes they just start shooting, and then as soon as you move out of range, they get stuck and they won't move. So that happened to Artosis there. He wasn't able to get that Dragoon, but yeah, killing 2 vultures before they were able to lay down any of their mines was pretty good by Squizen, but he lost, I think, too many Dragoons, and now he's not with the mines here. He's not actually able to move out at all, and Artosis is going to be feeling okay about this position after killing the Nexus, but he's not going to be feeling great. Really, this is better than just letting the Nexus go down, I think, and not doing anything about it. You know, just taking that on the chin, Nexus first cross spawn, and just, you know, dealing with it. I think he's in a better position than that, but not much.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I was waiting for maybe some big upgrades to kick in the meantime, but we didn't have anything, I don't think. So this is just what it looked like. 12 Nexus, lose the Nexus, and now we come out of it in this weird place nobody wants to be in, right? Everybody lost something, but who lost more? Honestly, it looks like things are basically normal, but with that second base just now coming online for Artosis, I mean, that's not bad. He's going to get the gas up as well there, and so... I don't want to say things are like even now, but it's still, you know, neither player like super debilitated or anything like that.
Yeah, one important thing to mention is Squizen tried to send out a probe to take another base. He wanted to double expand here, but Artosis actually, on top of that, he sniped the probe, and now he might be able to snipe another probe. If he gets another probe here, Squizen trying to take another base and slowing that third base down, that would be huge. We will have Reavers out here, mines being laid down, tactical mines here over by the mineral patches, some trying to pick locations where, you know, we might see Squizen try to land those Reavers, and coming into the natural here with this one vulture, it's already used all its mines, so its usefulness is just about run out. He's going to send it in and try to deal some damage, but 2 Dragoons pop out at just an unfortunate time there, and he will see the Reaver, though. Coming across the map. He needs another turret. There's missing a turret here. There's just a big open spot at the bottom of his base. If he had one more turret here, it would look like a very well defended position with the mines and turrets everywhere around the base, but that right-hand side, that could spell disaster here. Artosis might take a ton of damage.
Yeah, you know what? I'll bet you $0 that he tried to make a turret there and it just didn't make. Man, if I had a nickel for every time you try to build a building and it doesn't build, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's still weird it happened twice. So here comes the shuttle in right into a turret. That is not the direction that it was supposed to go. Half health now, no shields, and that is a very, very questionable shuttle. So he's just going to run back home. That was the weirdest push ever. 4 Dragoons in a shuttle with a Reaver in it, runs out straight into our turret, back across the map.
Yeah, he missed out on this opportunity here at the bottom right-hand corner of Artosis' base. He's going to build a turret now, so he is going to have those defenses ready. One single Reaver here. Out in the front, this is a good move for Squizen, since he wasn't able to deal any damage. Just going to sit here at the front and try to kill tanks as they move out to take the third. I think Artie's going to be quite a bit more careful, though, with this next move out. He's going to try to slowly push forward here and try not to allow these Reavers to do critical damage once again. Get that third base online a little bit more smoothly this time.
Yeah, and I think smoothness after all that chaos in the early game is what both players are really looking for. Second expansion coming up for Squizen in the meantime, but Artosis' army is going to start to look really, really good. He's most importantly taken almost 0 damage from the follow-up here from Squizen, and he sneaks out with 4 vultures, so that is not what you want to have happen. Those things can be absolutely deadly, and more importantly, they all have full mines. So it's going to really, really segment this map and mean that if you want to push out Squizen, it's going to be something you have to be very proactive about. Can you do that quickly enough? Maybe not, because you have to clear out all these minefields. So shuttle full shields again, or will have in just a second, comes back for Reaver, picks it up and is running back out across the map. Oh, trying to get in for some probe kills, and he will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't count, guys, but that's a lot. And more than worth throwing those vultures away for. Nice move by Artosis to get a little bit of harassment done.
Yeah, 6 kills there. Oh, and he scans right as these Stargates are warping in. So perfect scan here this time. And actually, this is, Caster's intuition here. Definitely Artosis, taking notes from that last game, realizing that this is the style that Squizen likes to play, and he gets a scan right at the perfect time. He's going to be able to hit a timing here that I don't think that Squizen can hold on against. There's so many factories right now. He's added on those 2 more. He's going up to what? This is 7 fact? He's going to hit a really strong timing here. He's not going to go for that late game. He's not going to be passive any longer. He's just going to try and bust through these Reavers and come straight across the map for the kill move.
Yeah, scanning those starports is really going to tip him off, so when the Corsairs arrive, he'll be more than ready. It's a joke. No, so for Artosis, this is time. And he has everything that he needs, right? He has tons of economy. It's too base, right? No, he has tons of economy, and he's got to watch out for those Reavers. A cheeky shot gets him in there. Revenge kill on the Observer, and now he's ready. Gonna have to do it with a couple less tanks, so that's not what you want to see. But he, like I said, has all the production behind here. I mean, Squizen's no joke, right? 120 supply, Reavers, shuttles, everything he needs also. But I think Artosis knows what he's doing. He definitely needs to push out, get an expo here soon, but I think he's got everything he needs to do it. And on Squizen's side, he's got his third base up. But most importantly, Artosis is completely aware of everything that's going on. He's going to have Karan boosters, Goliaths coming out here too. And his army is so good right now. So let's see if he can take out this force from Squizen, take a base, and pull ahead.
I don't think we're going to see a base here. I think Artosis is going to try and kill him right now. Yeah, there's some mines are going to connect here on some reinforcing Dragoons, which is amazing. Yeah. And this army is going to get completely surrounded. He's going for the shuttle. He gets the shuttle. One more shot goes down. 2 kills on 2 tanks there. That was a beautiful shot with these 2 Reavers. Unfortunate there for Artosis. He wasn't able to split those up a little bit better. But on the exit here, eating big mine hits, and that's going to lead Artosis to a big push across the map. He really needs to get over here towards this natural, kill the third base, and really shut down this play from Squizen before the carriers really come online. 0 interceptors right now. 0. These carriers are basically flying paperweights until Artosis gets over here and these interceptors get built. They're not going to be able to do anything about this push.
Yeah, money scan right on the carriers and the reinforcing Dragoons. But like you said, yeah, Artosis in an incredible position, expanding behind this, so he'll be more than safe even if this doesn't turn out the way he wants. He does have the turrets back up. He did finally build that turret in that questionable spot, so he's pretty tight back at home, and 2 turrets even. So base is looking good, and there's not even anything headed his way. Squizen now pulling things into defense mode. But I don't know, Artosis is starting to look real scary. 20 supply lead, and that is not what you want to see as a Protoss player. So pushing in, poking a little bit, Squizen hitting and running right back to safety.
I don't really like this too much. Artosis, he's thinking about pushing forward here, but he's not really executing. He's not going for it. Now finally getting everything together. Is he just going to pull the trigger? It's a lot of Goliaths, a lot of Vultures in here. The tank count is still very, very good. Sieging up a few of these tanks, still pushing forward. He really does need to make some space here to move forward quickly. He needs to unsiege those back tanks and just keep rolling here, because this army is not going to be getting much stronger, and eventually Squizen will have 4 carriers with interceptors to fight this. Pulling everything together here. Artosis gonna siege up, almost in range of this next base. He's gonna target down the shuttle very, very quickly. Nothing gets out of that. He's gonna target down one of these carriers as well. The carrier goes down. This is a great push by Artosis.
Yeah, there's no interceptors, not a lot of carriers either, no critical mass there, and with these Goliaths just wreaking havoc, there's nothing to get on top of these tanks, no Zealots to be found anywhere. The Dragoons melting into the bluest of goo as Squizen taps out Artosis. Takes game number 2. Whew, okay, a series.
We've got a series on our hands, boys. Artosis makes it 1-1. That was a great match.
Experted out of no, I mean, what else do you want to say there? I mean, we saw the same kind of passive opener, but this time with a twist, right? The Nexus go down, and honestly, after that, I was a little bit confused as to who was ahead. Obviously, Artosis was in a pretty good spot. He was able to macro back out of it. Crucially enough, that big, or the first move out that Squizen did with the shuttle, he just ran straight into a turret and then ran away. And obviously the Dragoon shuttle combo is most potent right as soon as it's born. Yeah. You head across the map and you have this huge tech thing that does some cool stuff, and then it doesn't do anything. And so Squizen runs away, and now Artosis is like, oh, well, I just don't have to worry about anything. So he just macroed, which is what Artosises do best.
Yeah, and the Reaver is still pretty useful if you leave it outside. We saw that he got, 3 tanks with those 2 Reavers, so not bad, but I think the real critical moment there was when Artosis scanned and saw the carriers. It was before he started his CC, so he was able to just drop a bunch of factories immediately, and his game plan was completely set. He shut down the Nexus at the beginning, he shut down the carrier play, he took that win. Really, really nicely done. That timing, just about perfect there. Just losing some extra tanks to the Reavers. That's pretty painful, but killing the Reavers, getting the surround on them is of the utmost importance. You really got to get rid of them as soon as possible.
And he did a great job with it. You want to reach down there and grab Heroes? Oh. Yeah, okay. So that makes it 1-1, and that means we're getting into the third and final game in this best of 3, Squizen versus Artosis. You can see all their player info up there. Shout out to our production crew for some excellent player profiles. And it looks like the map will be Neo Luna 4.4C. Some maps in the map pool. Some of the maps of all time, for sure. I'm definitely very unfamiliar with some of them. Leo Nuna included. And when it comes to players, they're not both in the lobby. Okay, Artosis in the lobby, we're in the lobby, the Obs and Casters are in the lobby, and we're just waiting for Squizen. So I think Squizen might have taken another break, which means that we're just waiting for him to come back, and then we'll get into our third and final game of this best of 3 series. So this is Group B. We finished Group A earlier.
Yeah. Hold on, wait.
And we're still figuring out things behind the scenes also here, guys. So bear with us. Big thanks to everybody who's come out and showed their support. Okay, my co-caster has returned, and I see that I've won him over.
The Bubba Tea.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's just like not what it says it is. Like if they just had a brand that said stuff you'll like to drink, I mean, it's that would be telling the truth, right? But so we have some drinks here, and we have a lot to choose from. And this is a Thai milk tea of sorts. It says ucha-san and ocha-san. Okay.
Ocha means tea in Japanese.
Okay. Wait, so correct me if I'm wrong, but the cha part means the tea, and then the o is that what tea is called? The ocha?
It's just called ocha in Japanese. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sick. Well, so in Korean it's just ta, and then you add other things on top. So there's like omicha, which is like this, 5 flavor berry kind of thing. And there's a lot of similarities there too. But I don't know what you would call this stuff. It's a little bit of everything.
Miruku tea.
Oh, miruku tea. Yeah. Okay. Excellent job there. Fluency right here. Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, that means that. Well, what's your rating out of 10 here?
My rating out of 10.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
On the milk tea experience that we. No, of this game, of life in general. No, the milk tea.
It's mid.
It is substantially mid. I was gonna say that the most disappointing part by far is that it doubles down. Okay, it's not just pretending to provide us with milk tea. It says milk tea with bubble, like the boba in it, but they're not. They're just like, I don't know what it is, but it's terrible. Anyway, all right, it's time. Sorry, I missed the go signal. I was too busy talking about the important things. No. It's fine. All right, so the map is Neo Luna, and we are gonna start things off in the upper left-hand corner. I'm gonna do a slow introduction as we arrange Squizen there on the bottom of the map. I love how we have like wide and long players. So okay, there we go. Damn it, I was gonna make a joke. Anyway, okay, in the upper left-hand corner, in the red, playing Terran from America, it is Artosis.
And here in the bottom left, our blue Protoss player, he is Squizen.
I wish that was like a word or a verb that meant something. Maybe it does in Polish, I don't know. But he has been squizened, right? The squizening. That's what's happening right here. Oh, yeah, maybe like squeezing? Okay. Yeah, the past tense of squeeze. Yeah, I want to make orange juice. What do you do to the orange? I squizen them, right? Have you made the orange juice? Yes, I've finished squizening all of the oranges. There you go. And that's what he's going to have to do to Artosis in order to make this. I don't know. This is ridiculous. No.
This metaphor has gone too far.
No, it always goes too far. No, there's all gas, no brakes on this. You just got to keep going with it. Otherwise, it doesn't work. I mean, it still doesn't work. All right. So what are we doing? We're building nexuses and supply depots, and I don't think we're going to change. I think this is going to be another super macro opener on both sides.
Then you would be wrong, because Squizen threw down a gateway here at the front.
Really?
He's going to send zealots across the
Macro
map.
gateway.
He's going to send zealots across the map and try to do some harassment to ol Artosis. Will he be able to kill some Marines? Will he be able to get any SCVs with this? He's going to start to put the squeeze on this Terran player by pressuring him in the early game. While back at home, he's going to throw down his, what's this called, Cybernetic Core, and get himself into some Dragoons. Single gate expansion is what I'm expecting here out of Squizen, but he might have some tricks for us.
Well, obviously scouting first is a useful skill to have. And it's not just a zealot, it is a zealot probe combo, oh my god. So very, very scary unless you build your depots next to your barracks. And apparently our Marines on a diet can just squeeze right in there. So that's fair. But no, I mean, it's a great defensive positioning there. SimCity perfect for Artosis. Effortlessly eschews Squizen out and away. He's coming back for more, but obviously there's not going to be a lot to achieve here. Whoa, one more hit. No way. Get the SCV. So that's not bad.
Yeah, getting one SCV here is pretty good. He slowed down the factory a little bit as well, so all good things for Squizen. However, back at home, I think he's producing a Dragoon right now, and Artosis, he could build an engineering bay here to block. And that would really slow Squizen down overall, but he kills the probe, and he's got 5 Marines. These 2 Zealots have to be careful now. With the Vulture coming soon, he can't do too much. I'm surprised to see Artosis not build an eBay here and block this natural, but actually second gateway in the main, so it's not going to be a single gate expansion. With the second gateway coming up here, Squizen is going to put on huge pressure with a whole bunch of goons, and it's really on Artosis to quickly build a machine shop and go into some tanks here. Or what is he doing right now? Is he pulling SCVs and going for an attack? This is kind of crazy.
No, this is really interesting, and I think it's because he got a perfect scout right when you were talking about the gateway coming out. SCV waltzes in and sees absolutely everything, and somewhat surprisingly behind this, Artosis is expanding. So you know, if I was expecting a huge influx of Protoss units, that might be a little bit scary, but Artosis is not only expanding behind this, he's also out on the map to meet this head on. So let's see if he can get a good trade here. I think he is. 1 Zealot down. These Vultures perfectly positioned. The Micro, amazing. Gets that last second extra shot off, and the Dragoons being hampered a little bit there by the SCV. Control pretty good here for Squizen, but if Artosis keeps these 5 Marines alive, the bunker construction is starting. The Dragoons getting in on them, but they're both pretty low. He's going to lose both of these if he's not careful. Oh, the machine guns run out of bullets there, and so does the bunker. Runs out of life. That's out of here, but still 5 Marines is pretty scary.
Squizen had to give up a lot there to stop that bunker from going down, but it was a critical moment to pick off that SCV and prevent that from being completed. Now back at home, what does Artosis have? He's got just 1 Marine, 1 Vulture. He should be making mines right now, but he lost his early Vultures, and those mines aren't going to do too much for him. Squizen here just kind of sitting back. He's going to throw down a Nexus, so at least that's something that Artosis, he can count his blessings here for that fact at least. He has buying some time for the mines to come up, and his command center is finished when the Nexus of the Protoss is just starting. So he is in a very decent spot here. As long as he holds on to against this counterattack reasonably well, he should be feeling really, really good about his spot.
Oh yeah, sign me up for these games. This has got to feel great for Artosis. He knows he has a huge lead. Spider Mines getting connections. Yeah, there's no way Squizen can do anything behind this or after that. And what do? Do you double expand? No, there's no way you can defend that against these Vultures that are out on the map. Tech advantage goes to Artosis. He is sitting absolutely prettily here. So, I mean, it looks like it's great for Artosis, right? He's doing what Artosises do best, and that is sitting back, macroing. He's got everything up. But you got to know that little Artosis mind, the big Artosis mind, is spinning around and knows that there's still some things that he has to watch out for. They're getting up some turrets. That's exactly what you see right now. Covering all your bases is kind of the name of the game right now to make sure that he doesn't fall prey to any surprise shenanigans that Squizen has behind this.
Yeah, he's gonna want to get his comm sets out here. They were so clutch for him in the last game to figure out what the follow-up's going to be here from Squizen, figure out what's coming, and he should be able to counter it appropriately. Artosis, definitely a smart player. He knows how to counter everything. He just needs to know that it's coming. Knowing is half the battle, and for Artosis, it's even more than that.
In fact, yes. 37.5% of the... I don't know, man. No, let's see what happens here for Squizen. He knows that was not good. He is behind, but let's see if he can maybe slingshot away. And in order to prevent any sort of Squizen mass secret expanding, Artosis is getting out there on the map, and this is great. When you have that map control, get out there and use it. So he's planting spider mines, running the Vultures around to do what they do best and scout every single one of the bottom expansions. So he absolutely knows that Squizen has nothing out there on the map. He's even running to like the super secret expansions, like close ones at 12 and maybe even checking the third there. Nah, it wouldn't be there. But either way, Artosis knows nothing's up across the map, and that means he is feeling absolutely great. Some people are a little bit more paranoid than others, and I think for Artosis, it really takes a lot for him to realize, or for him to finally admit, wait a second, I'm just in the lead. There's nothing, nobody's coming to kill me immediately just now. And so he's doing a great job macroing behind this. His tech is absolutely massive. His factory count's still at 2 though, so we might need to see what the next move is. See, it looks to macro up not only just to defend what he has, but also thinking about the next step as I think that might be a CC floating out. No, it's just barracks. My bad.
So I think what Artosis is deciding here is whether or not he's going to try and get a third base out. It's pretty tough to get a third base on this map. The third is way up there, you know, to the right here. It's this pathway towards the third base kind of reminds me of Fighting Spirit, except it's on the low ground here. There's no high ground for the third base, but that's a long pathway to cover, to defend, and there's no area to build turrets there. So Artosis is building up into about 5 factories, and I think this will just be so that he has definitely enough production here to get into that third base. He wants to make sure that he's got more than enough units to defend those 3 bases, and then he can get into hyper late game, you know, with +2 coming in as quickly as possible. He's going to get into his armories and his starports here very, very smoothly, while on the other side, scanning, seeing what Squizen's up to. He's going to be satisfied seeing just more gateways and reavers coming here from him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think that we're going to see too much departure from the norm here from Squizen. And honestly, that's the best part about getting to the third game in a best of 3 is that you finally get a chance to say, okay, we've had 2 games to feel each other out and really get a chance to know each other. Anytime you come to a crazy tournament like this, you're never going to know exactly what you're going up against. Players, matchups, whatever. And so finally Artosis knows, hey, I'm pretty sure what's going on out there, and then I have a good advantage. And he does. Look at all these tanks just absolutely slaughtering these exploratory dragoons. They are not going to be wanting to fight here. So Squizen falling back. What tech has he got behind this? It looks like just dragoons.
He does have a reaver here, so he's going to be bringing it forward soon. That should be there, okay, and that should slow things down here for Artosis. He's got to be very careful here, falling back and sieging up. The Reaver's going to drop. He needs to target that down. He does target it down, but a big connection there with the Scarab killing off quite a few tanks, although a lot of Dragoons going down here, getting splattered because there's no Zealots to help support this army. There they are, finally Zealots popping out, but it's just a little too late. Gonna go ahead and pick up another Reaver, pick up some Zealots as well, and try to hold this off, but Artosis is just shoving forward here. 5 factory timing here from him. I thought that he was really gonna go into a full-on macro game. He's building a command center back at home here on high ground, but he's really committed to this attack. He wants to make this work. He wants to come in and kill Squizen right here, right now. He's going to set up a bunch of mines and send 1 tank down to the south to take care of that nexus there. That third base is under threat. He's going to start to kill probes.
Yeah, now it's going to take quite a few probes to repair this nexus. No, I'm just kidding. No, it takes all you need, right? No way that Squizen can devote resources to taking that tank out. He's going to send the shuttle over here, but even that's a little bit dangerous with these Goliaths up north. Oh, it's a little scary, but, you know, it's, you got to do something, right? He drops them off. Will actually take out the Goliaths, maybe. Oh, shuttle going down here would be huge. He tries to pick them up, but it's too dangerous. He loses everything. A 1 HP shuttle is the only thing that remains, and that's a lot to invest to try to keep this base alive, but Squizen really desperately trying to hang on here.
He's going to hang on for now, but things are getting a little bit out of control here. Squizen with 1,400 minerals in the bank. He's going to try and push forward right now. He needs to get these minerals made into army units so he can shove through. He's dropping the Reaver. He picks it up without taking a shot, though. And all the Zealots have melted away. Dragoons littering the field of battle with their blue blood everywhere. More vultures being sent to the front. Artosis changed all his rallies up here, and he's just pumping out units, going for the kill move. He doesn't have any Goliaths with this now, but the tanks are coming down once again to try and break this third base. Is putting a serious clock on Squizen. He has to do something right now.
And man, Squizen's starting to fall apart a little bit. He has all those gateways, but can't spend the money. He has 15K or 1,500 minerals in the bank, 500 gas, and it's not out there fighting on the field. Trying to clear out some mines, but running into a little bit of tank fire. Pulling the Dragoons back, and Artosis knows he just has an absolute death grip down here right in front of the natural. I mean, there's more coming on the way, but realistically, Artosis, he's macroing behind this. He's just now floating his third base out here, and man, is everything look good back at home.
Yeah, Artosis is really hitting his macro. This is the difference between him and Squizen right now, is that he's just added on tons and tons of factory, tons and tons of production, whereas Squizen is just now starting to put some gateways down, but his gateway count was way too low. He's less gateways right now than what Artosis has in terms of factories, and that is it. Everything gets cleaned up. GG is called, and Artosis takes that win and that series 2-1. There it is.
Yeah, congratulations, Artosis taking a 2-1 victory over Squizen. And that means that Squizen, I believe he, okay, let's see. I think he might have won earlier. I don't know what the results are just yet. Although I'm sure that they've already been updated on Wikipedia. I don't know who we have plugging that in, but absolutely incredible, blinding speed. And that means that we should have a bracket coming up here in a little bit to show us what on earth happened. Well, actually, never mind, because it's not a bracket situation. So we added a 5th player into the group, and that means that everybody has to play everybody. So instead of just having the standard 4-player bracket style to get 2 players to advance, we instead have a 5-man round robin situation. And I'm not sure what the end result of that is going to be, because I'm not sure if 2 players make it out, 3 players make it out. We need to have